What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Robot Rumble 2 Building a Robot. In today's episode, I have been wanting to build a certain robot for almost my entire career of Robot Rumble 2. I haven't made a robot on channel that is anything similar to what I am going to do, at least, but if you are in my Discord, you will know that I have created a robot that is somewhat similar to this. So about, I'm gonna say half a year ago, I created a robot named El Tigre. This robot is a tiger themed robot that was pretty much an egg beater robot. It was fun. I really like this robot. It actually did really well in a bot of the month applications, which I'm really proud of. But we are going to be creating a tiger themed robot today. So I'm gonna hop into the workshop and we're gonna get this started because this is going to be a really big thing for me. Okay, here we are in the robot lab, and you're probably thinking, why is this robot so important to you? You're building a tiger themed robot. That's okay, cool. Tigers are literally my favorite things in this entire world. You can see my channel. The colors are orange and black. Everything about Robomania, by the way, is orange and black. Everything I own in real life is orange and black as well. I'm a huge Cincinnati Bengal fan, and I used to be ashamed to say that, but now that they went to the Super Bowl and lost, I mean, they lost in the Super Bowl, but they made it to the Super Bowl. I've been a Bengal fan my entire life. American football, it's pretty fun to watch. I know a lot of people in my Discord have given me crap about being a Bengals fan, but let's go get this! Yeah, shooter! Shooter, Luna! Let's fucking go! Let's go! Hooday! Hooday! I'm proud of it. I've been proud of it for the past, I don't know, about 19, 20 years of my life. I've been a Bengal fan. Pretty much ever since I could speak, I have been a Bengals fan. So the reason why I want to build a robot that is themed around a tiger is just because there's so much potential for this robot to be one of the coolest looking robots we have ever built. As you know, tigers are very... By the way, I have a tattoo of a tiger. I just want to say that right now. I have tiger stripes on my leg. I have a tiger face growling with its claw slashing out. I'm just adding to the pile of what I like about tigers. This robot has a lot of potential, decoration-wise, to look really cool because we can add stripes to this robot, and, from there we can figure out what we want to do. But I think today what we're going to be doing is building an overhead spinner. Now, I haven't built an overhead spinner in a very long time in this game, and I think we're almost due for one. So with that being said, I think this is going to be a good time to actually build it. I'm going to try to blend together Ice Wave, the robot from BattleBots, and my own vision, which is El Tigre. And I have some cool ideas for this, and I think this is going to be my personal favorite robot of all time, just because it's a tiger. And El Tigre did not live up to the hype that I had in my mind because it was a very badly performed robot. I didn't know how to build at the time, so we're gonna figure it out. But I want to get a good chassis shape, and I'm thinking about doing almost kind of something like this. I think that's what we're gonna be aiming for, and I think that looks right to me also. All right, cool. So this is going to be our robot chassis design. We're kind of going for a square, but also a stop sign, kind of. It's hard to explain. You'll see what I mean. But we're going to put down all the wheel motors, all that fun jazz. I'm going to select the colors for this robot because I only plan to have 3 different colors for this robot. So we'll see how this comes out. I have a good picture in my head, and hopefully this robot won't disappoint me, at least. And of course, I hope it doesn't disappoint you guys as well. Okay, as you know, I wanted to work on the wheel motors for this robot, and I think I got what I wanted down before I actually started, working on the robot. As you know from the last episode, I really changed my building style to doing kind of like this. I don't know how to explain it, like the blockade kind of sections. It really helps me stay organized with my robot and helps me figure out, hey, how much room do I have left to put down batteries, ESCs, and all that fun stuff in between. I also added the weapon motor, and I'm trying out this new one that was added recently to the game. This is, well, this was already in the game, the single motor, but they added a double motor now, which is the TP100 dual brushless. So we're going to be running a brushless motor for our weapon, and I'm very curious to see how it's going to work out. It might not be the best call. I'm probably messing up on this, but I read that it is one of the better motors in the game, and I did like the TP100 by itself before, so I'm excited to see how this is really going to work out. But I guess we're going to have to figure that out in the future if it's worth keeping or not. Worst case scenario, I will add a pancake or a my energy, but I also do want to experiment with new motors because, hey, what's the fun of watching me build a robot over and over again with the same motors? So that's the whole fun of this. I am planning on doing another randomizer soon. It got a lot of traction, and they added a lot more motors in the game, so I'm excited to see how it's all going to come out. As you can also tell, orange is the main color of this robot, and this is going to be the color that I'm going to be rocking with, this exact orange. The three colors that I'm going for is orange, black, of course, and then under here I have a white with some motors exposed, but I'm going to cover them eventually. But I think it's looking pretty good so far. I want to put in the rest of the internals, and I was just kind of gauging how much room I have left, and I kind of have to figure out where I want to put everything. And now, by the way, there is shock damage in the game, so this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to have to plan on putting the more important stuff in the middle, if you know what I mean. Because, like, let's just say the robot gets hit really hard right here. There's a chance that whatever I put right here can get damaged. So I might be thinking about, I don't know, the least important things would probably be the battery splitters or something like that. Anything splitting, because they can still get a little bit of power from that. That's my guess so far. But everything is important when you add it to a robot. So who knows? I'm going to try to make it so if the robot gets hit here, it won't be destroyed. But there's no promises when the arena gates close and there's another robot trying to kill this one. So we're gonna try to figure it out. I'm going to add a lot of stripes soon, and I'm still debating if I want to do custom shapes or import my own custom stripes in through Blender, but I'm not quite sure yet. I guess I'll just have to keep building the robot. We'll tell you what, I'm gonna finish the internals and I'll get back to it when the robot at least can move around and operate functionally. Alright, so as you can tell, a little bit of work has been done since when I last said. Now, I put in all the internals, and I'm kind of just messing around with some tiger stripes. I don't know if these are going to stay yet, but I'm kind of liking how the robot is coming along. It's very tigery so far, for sure, but I feel like it could be even more tigery, you know what I'm saying? Like, the sides aren't where I want them to be yet. I'm not a big fan of this black little stretch along, or the little lines across here yet. I don't know yet. It's still kind of a work in progress. I do want to do something kind of interesting here as well. Kind of put down a shape that can look pretty decent. I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet for this robot, but it's definitely coming along. The tiger stripes are also, they're cool and all, but they're not consistent with each other, if that makes any sense. Like, it seems like I kind of just put them down for no decoration reason. I mean, they definitely look cool, and if I add a weapon on top that also kind of has some tiger stripes and maybe even a gradient. I did this for my other robot, Tigre, that it had a gradient from white to orange, and it had like a little bit of tan throughout the gradient. Like, it was white, a little bit of a tannish white, and then like a light orange into the orange, and it looked really good. And I might put that on the sides or on the top of the weapon, and I think that would look really cool. Now, I still want to mix in some white to this robot, but I'm not quite sure where. And I was just thinking right now, like, what if I did white here? Now, that could look a little bit that could be interesting. Especially the middle part is where I'm kind of confused right now. I kind of want to just scrap this and start over because this is just a cube with a couple wedges attached to it. But I don't know if the robot is coming together exactly how I want it yet. It will get there eventually, hopefully. But for now, I'm at a stalemate. I definitely want to do the stripes up here because I think that just looks nice. I don't know if I want all 4 sides to have the stripes, because it might just be weird, but it looks cool. Like from a distance, like you're like, wow, that's a tiger boy right there. Ooh, even gray could look really good actually. I forgot about gray as a color, even though tigers aren't really a gray. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually, but for now, I think I want to start the gradient or get the lettering down, because I'm gonna call this one El Tigre. This is gonna be the new El Tigre robot, and I want to put either the lettering on both sides here, or just, I don't know, because I do want to have a wedge on the front. I believe, yeah, this is the front right here, so I want to have a wedge up front, and I kind of want to do something with the corners. I made this robot kind of like not a square, but the square with the curved edges right here, and I want to do something special with that. But I think I should just put down the weapon. I think the weapon's going to be the main thing that'll get it all moving together. So I'm going to work on the weapon next and figure out what we should do from there. We have plenty of room when it comes to the kilogram and the weight, so we should be okay to continue. But let's keep working, and hopefully the weapon comes out nice. I'm still working on this actual weapon itself, but it's kind of getting where I want it to be. Not 100% yet, but it's looking decent. I finished off the decoration. That was like, for some reason, the one thing I wanted to get done. I wanted to do the chassis design first, and I think I like it a lot actually. So the whole thing that I wanted to do for this robot was to have the tiger stripes kind of protrude a little bit, so they're almost like 3D in a way. So all of the stripes on top at least are kind of protruding in a little bit. I still have to get like this part correct, you know, like right here. The big green bubble is in the way, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about at least. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good design-wise at least. I still haven't added, this is going to sound funny, I haven't added decoration yet to this robot, which you're like, wait, what? This robot is decorated like crazy right now. I still want to add some lettering to this robot. Like, I think I want this robot's name to stay El Tigre. Is it El Tigre? No, I think it's El Tigre. El Tigre? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to look this up. I've been saying this wrong the whole time, perhaps. Okay, I've been doing good. It's El Tigre. I'm good. I should know this. I live in Arizona, and I'm like not a couple, but I'm like 100 miles away from the Mexican border, so I should know exactly where, you know, like how to say a certain Spanish words, like tu madre. That one's fun to say. That's the one that I always said in in like high school and everything. That was probably my #1 used often term in Spanish, actually. And I never took Spanish in high school. I took German, and I don't remember any of it, so that's a big problem. Anyways, more about this robot. I've been kind of rambling a lot this episode, and that's not really good. As you can see, the weapon is added, and it hits pretty good, I will say. You can see all the cones are already kind of in a different spot because I've been testing it. But the robot is a heavy hitter, and that's what I ultimately wanted from this robot. And that was not a good example, but see how the cone just flies? That one kind of just drifted away. It hits hard. You gotta trust me on this one. How come whenever I want to show you guys how hard a robot can hit, it just does the opposite for some reason? It kind of just pushes everything. Oh boy. Okay, see how fast that went? That was a good hit. So from here, I'm still working on the weapon itself. It's kind of flat, and I'm not a big fan of just how straight it is. I kind of wanted to add some curve to it. Actually, Hobo Drew sent me a really cool picture of a robot that was circular, and the weapon pretty much just like, it didn't touch it, but it was so close to touching it. throughout the entirety of its spin cycle. And I wanted to do that for this robot, but it's not a circle, so I don't really know how to really do that. But I tested the weapon and it barely hits the corner right here. It doesn't touch it, but it's very close to the corner of all four sides of this robot, and I think this is good for now. I think the general default design that I have is decent. I definitely want to keep working on it, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do next. I definitely have to pretty up this weapon, and I think that's going to be the one that I want to continue doing. And I think this side right here, which by the way, this is just an orange block. This side, I want to... I think I want the gradient to be here. I think that's going to look good. And maybe even on the back and the front as well. Because we have the white on the corners. Yes, that could look really good actually. I think I'm going to do that. So, while I try to figure out what I want to do, I will cut back to what I think is going to be a good option for this robot, but I'm kind of at a loss right now. Nothing too crazy. I just want to get this robot to look good. And we're still only at 72 kilograms, so we still have plenty of room to add things, to take away things. It doesn't matter right now because we have around 40 to 38 kilograms to really shed through, and I don't think we're gonna do that with what I want to add. So anyways, I will get back to the video once, I don't know, once I figure out something for this robot. There might be a big cut, there might not. I hope there isn't, but 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay. I have figured out exactly what I wanted to do for this robot, and here it is, El Tigre. Very cool looking robot so far. I'm very happy with it. I added the text down here that it looks really good. Wow. I love this font. This is actually the official Cincinnati Bengals font, so here you go. If you're ever curious what font this is, that is it. The El Tigre robot right here. The only thing that I have left to do for this robot besides decoration is actually not decoration. The only thing left that I have to do besides nuts and bolts is adding a wedge to this robot. As you can see though, I added the gradient right here, and this is probably going to go away on this side, but look at this. Look at that. Doesn't that look really good? Now a few of these I need to lower like this just so it doesn't peek out, you know what I mean? But look at that. Doesn't that look really good? I'm really happy with this robot right now, and it's coming together. Hopefully this robot can actually do damage. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be, to be honest. When I was kind of testing it around with other robots, it's pretty small, but you know, size doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. Size is it's about how the robot is used. Cut that out. All I have left to do though is adding wedgelets. I don't think I'm going to add a wedge because I have been looking at this robot real quick. Let me see if I can swing this on over real quick. As you can see, the weapon kind of gets in the way a little bit, so they might have to just be some forks that stick out, and I'm not a big fan of that, but I might have to work with it. Other than that though, the robot is done with nuts and bolts added, and we are still extremely underweight right now, which I don't know what else I need to do. I guess I could just add more. I really don't know because everything inside is what it should be. I just have a feeling that this robot's gonna fall apart, but I hope it doesn't. I love this blade though. The blade has come together. A little empty in the middle, which I might change. I might add another little white stripe in between that or something. I'm not quite sure, but I love the stripes on it. It just looks so good to me. Doesn't this robot just look crazy? That's all you really need when look at it. It's so cool looking. I love this robot. I absolutely love it. But long story short, I'm gonna add the little wedgelets to this robot, and we're gonna put nuts and bolts on and get ready for our fight. So without further ado, I will see you guys when I get some sort of wedgelets going. And here it is, one of the final forms of El Tigre, the overhead spinner. I'm pretty happy with it. I can't hate it just because, you know, it's a robot that I liked a lot. I definitely think I need to add more stripes here, but that's gonna be down the line. I might even put the name up front somewhere. I'm not sure yet, but we're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna call it an episode today with this robot because I spent a long time on it. I put the flaps down, the good old-fashioned. I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna put some flaps down. That's my motto, at least. So the robot is still gonna be worked on for the next couple months now until the Battle of the Rookies, but I'm very happy with how this turned out. And with that all being said, we're gonna fight this robot with the previous episode robot Blunt Force, who has had some serious upgrades since the last episode. So without further ado, I will see you guys in the Robomania arena. Alright, we are here in the exhibition battle mode, and we have El Tigre going up against Blunt Force. Little quick thing. Blunt Force has been upgraded just a little bit, nothing too crazy. I added new wedgelets. I got the lettering on the front wedge to actually work, and that's why I also did something on El Tigre. So do expect more of that in the future for all the robots that we would be creating, because you know, I feel like it makes it more realistic for when a robot has its name on it. I don't know why, I just have that feeling. But without further ado, let's jump into this match. And for my pick of this fight, I'm gonna go with a sneaky upset here. I'm gonna pick Blunt Force to win this fight. I just have a feeling El Tigre's weapon is overvolted, and that could definitely be my fault. A huge hit! A huge hit! And now Blunt Force is upside down! Oh my goodness! And now El Tigre gets flipped upside down. Can it self-right? I tried to mess with that self-righting stick, and I don't think it's long enough. Oh no. It does self-right, however, and I think I made Blunt Force's weapon to fire way too soon. But that's okay for now. I will fix that in the near future. And it seems like the wheel has... Oh, something has come off of its purple, so I'm assuming it's Blunt Force, but El Tigre is smoking. That's huge. The weapon has stopped. Oh no. That's huge. Oh goodness. Can Blunt Force make a comeback? The weapon's back up now. I wonder what happened. I think it's the drive of El Tigre that's overheating, and the drive just may have stopped. Oh no, two amateur fighters right now flying back and forth. I'm curious to see if either one of these robots can last a full 3 minutes now, seeing what just happened. But who knows? I don't know how the damage really works in this game yet, and that could have just been shock damage. So who knows? Who knows what happened? I feel like sparks would have came out though if it was shock damage. I could be wrong about that though. There's definitely damage done to Blunt Force's wheel. I think it's one of the back wheels that is completely damaged. And El Tigre, something happened to it. I think it overheated, which caused... I'm not sure, but there's definitely some damage being done to both robots in this fight. And we have a minute left. And we're doing good progress, by the way, on the Battle of the Rookies 2 tournament roster. We're getting very close. I believe this is 6 robots now, plus the 4. So does that only mean we have 6 robots remaining to create? I don't know about that. That's kind of crazy. I could be wrong on those numbers, but there's definitely not as many robots as you think left to fill up the slots, especially with the 4 community builds. That's an event I'm hosting on my Discord. A bunch of people involved. They're all making their own robot, or I should say a certain part of a robot, and they have to build off of somebody else's work without knowing what they did. So it's a very like a back and forth tag team kind of build, and they're not going to make it perfect because you can't really make it perfect when it comes down to this. The fight is over though. Going to a judge's decision. I have no idea who won that. I'd probably say El Tigre won that? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Again, these are not official numbers or anything like that, so whoever won, it doesn't matter because that was an exhibition fight. But in the future, there is going to be real fights, so get ready for that. A very interesting fight. I definitely think I overvolted it here. I put it at 8. I think it goes at 9. I think 9's the number that it should be. No, it wasn't the weapon that broke. The weapon was fine, so 8's fine here. It was the drive. I'm gonna have to mess with the drive a little bit more. It overheated for sure. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. There's gonna be a lot of stuff planned for the future of this channel, so if you want to stay connected, make sure you subscribe and like this. Write down a comment below if you liked this video, or even if you hated it. I don't care. Any feedback is good for me. I hope you guys like this robot as well, because I put a lot of time into it, especially in the design, even though it kind of looks interesting. But I'd spent a lot of time on it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's 6. I'm gonna say there's 6. There could be 7. But let's just say for now there's 6 slots remaining in the Battle of the Rookies tournament. So there's 6 robot submissions that I need to make. So if you have any robot ideas, write it down in the comment below. The more the merrier. I like wacky stuff. Like I said, this one isn't as wacky as all the other ones, but I like creating weird stuff in this game because I don't know, not a lot of people do it, and I feel like it's a very underrated thing to do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, week, weekend, whatever it may be. And I will see you guys all on another episode. Have a good one.